Hello everyone, welcome to Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. I've been waiting for this to come out. Fun fact, I mentioned in Silksong that was the entire reason that I created the channel. There were actually 3 games that I created the channel with the intention of playing, Silksong being the biggest one. The other one was Final Fantasy Tactics, and another one was Paper Mario. So, once Silksong and this finish, I will have actually achieved every single thing I wanted to achieve. Because for those that don't know, Final Fantasy Tactics is probably my favorite game of all time. It's definitely one of the ones that I've played the most of. I wouldn't say I'm fantastic at it, and I've never really dove into the stats a ton. I mostly just used it for like fun little role-playing and just constantly replaying it when I was a kid, over and over and over. I have no idea how many times I've done a fresh file and gotten all the way to the end in this game. Despite that, I haven't done a lot of the side content. I did some of it when I played War of the Lions, but when I was a kid, I didn't really do any of the side content. I would just go straight through the story and just beat it constantly. So yeah, there's gonna be some gaps in my knowledge. I've looked up some things to refresh myself on like how stats and builds and stuff work, because I never really got into that too much when I was younger. So I'm a little bit more familiar with the stats and various things and how like growth and stuff works. So we may get a little bit more into that now that I'm older and want a different experience. But this version of the game apparently has like some balance changes. It has some different dialogue. It obviously has full voice acting, which for anyone curious, I was sitting here for a long time deciding if I wanted Japanese or English voices. And I decided to go with English mostly because it creates an easier watching experience for people that are kind of half watching, and also most of the other RPGs that I've played on the channel have been in English. I do play a lot of things in Japanese, especially when I'm playing on my own, but I think it makes an easier watching experience for people that are kind of half watching, so let's go! Also, a cool thing about this is it gives you the full, like, remake version, but there's also this one, the classic, which I saw a video basically explaining the changes, and this is verbatim classic Final Fantasy Tactics without any of the changes, voiceover, anything like that. The only thing they really did is, like, upscale the resolution and things and make things look slightly nicer. So this is like a remaster, basically, whereas this is like more of a remake, I guess. And they included both versions, which is super nice. This one's based off of the translation in War of the Lions. This one's a new translation, basically. So it's interesting to see that Final Fantasy Tactics has had 3 different translations now. And I'm probably going to be able to just straight up recite dialogue and things and be like, oh wow, this is different than how it was done before, because I remember a ton of the original PlayStation translation, so I'm going to quit freaking out. We're going to jump into this cutscene that's probably going to make me emotional and nostalgic. Sword in hand, warrior clutches a stone to breast. Oh. In sword etched he his fading memories. Oh my god, I used to sit here and just play this. In stone his tempered skill. This is still on my music playlist. By sword attested, by stone revealed. Their tale can now be told! Yeah! Oh, it's so good. Square Enix presents! I prefer when it was Squaresoft, but the Zodiac Brave story. Oh. Oh my god, and then hit us with a fanfare. Bam, bam, ba-na-na. Oh my god, that feels so good. Oh, right in the nostalgia. Even the music that was playing on the previous screen, which is like the music that plays on the save screen. Oh my god, straight to my heart. Oh. Alright, new game. Let's go. I'm interested in seeing this. Alright, so Squire Knight Tactician. So, vanilla Final Fantasy Tactics was kind of already fairly hard, I would say, even as someone that's played it a ton, even though I never dove into like the nitty-gritty of the stats and stuff. Even if you just sit there and grind a lot, it can still have some moments that are tough. I can think of a few specific moments in the story that are tough. I'm not gonna say any names or, well, no, I'll say, Execution Site and Elder, the Marquis, or the Marquis, whichever one you want. Let's just say those things and be as vague as possible. So those are some moments that I remember being really difficult. Obviously, this is going to be an interesting playthrough because I have played this game, and some of the stuff I will be blind on, like the huge dungeon that was in Tactics Ogre, the Castle of the Dead or whatever, because I believe that is in this, and a lot of the side quest stuff I will be blind on, and I will definitely look up to make sure I'm not missing any of that. But I think we're going to play on Tactician, because one, I've played a ton of these games, so I think this is probably in my best interest to play on Tactician for a new experience, and also, I have a little bit of an inkling that maybe Tactician is closer to the original difficulty, possibly, or maybe it's harder. Either way, I'm down for a little bit of a challenge in basically my favorite game of all time. So, because this is always my number one, every single time I think about it. Any waking moment of my life, I would sit down and play this game. So, Tactician. People are gonna learn my birthday, I guess. There we go. The Ivalician calendar. I'm an Aries 4. I think there's an optimal birthday you can set or something, basically. I think this determines some of your starting stats, if I remember correctly. I'm just going to go with my actual birthday. I'm not going to dive too much into, like, min-maxing with the stats and stuff, but I am going to try to interact with the stats a little bit more than I ever did when I was younger. Oh, the music.
I am Arazlam J.D. For the greater part of my life, I have been a student of Ivalice's middle age.
God, it's so weird hearing Arazlam talk.
You are familiar with the War of the Lions? No? It was a bitter war of succession that rent the land of Ivalice in two. Here we first find mention of Delita Hyrule, the hero who would draw the curtain on this dark act of ours.
Delita, yes!
His is a tale of great renown, familiar to all who dwell within our land. But, as we well know, what the eye sees is oftentimes a mere fragment of the truth. There was another young man, Ramza Beowulf, the youngest son of House Beowulf, famed for producing leaders of men. There is no official record of the role he played on history's stage. However, according to the Jirai papers, which had long lain concealed in church archives, this forgotten young man was in fact the true hero. The church maintains he was a heretic of the highest order, an inciter of unrest, who blasphemed the gods and profaned the godly. Which of these two accounts is to be believed?
Certainly not the churches.
Join me now in my search to uncover the answer. The truth.
God, I wish I could just experience the game in both languages, because I would love to see that in Japanese as well. That would be awesome. Oh, the Zodiac Brave story. Hit me with it. God, I know so much of the music here. Oh, you're gonna hear me just giddy and freaking out so often throughout this playthrough. Yeah, turn the letters over. My favorite Final Fantasy game. My favorite game, period. And with the best music. Some of my favorite music. Oh my god. Based on Final Fantasy Tactics 1997, which I played a ton. I played it so much that my disc got scratched and I had to buy a new disc. Twice! One of the times I lost it, I think, to be fair, but... I am going to be interested in seeing... There's the Lita! I will, of course, try to keep, like, since I know the story of this game and everything, I will, of course, be coy with spoilers and things, so as not to, spoil anything story-wise or anything like that. But, you know, I'll let the game do its thing, and we'll talk about it as it happens. This is a cool version of the intro, because I remember watching the absolute hell out of the PS1 intro. The art here definitely reminds me of the more War of the Lions kind of look that they had, because there were some cutscenes and things added in War of the Lions as well. Just seeing the chocobo run across the water and stuff, it's so beautiful. Oh my god. Look at them go. And yeah, we will be watching everything. We will be experiencing everything as much as we possibly can of this fantastic game. Luckily, it's not too long of a game, so it's. I wouldn't say it's short, and obviously a lot of the side content will probably elevate that time, but a lot of the side content, especially some of the longer grindy bits, will probably be done on stream. So that will help cut down on the playtime a little bit. Who are you? Are we immediately... Yeah, we're immediately transitioning to the scene. Fade out, and then here they are. Agrius and, Avilia. And then I forget the name of the pastor, basically, the priest there.
Oh, Father, abandon not your wayward children of Ivalice, but deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
Ivalice? Oh my god, I was calling it Ivalice.
Lady Avilia, it is time.
Queen! I love you so much. I love you so much. Yeah, it's Ivalice. Where did I pick up Ivalice at some point? I swear in some game they pronounced it Ivalice. But Ivalice.
I'll not be much longer, Agrius.
Your escort has already arrived.
Please, heed the good lady's words, Highness. You must hurry.
Still in here, are ya? It's been the better part of an hour.
Oh god, Gefgarion. It's so interesting seeing their portraits speak as well, because yeah, the portraits are animated in this one.
Gefgarion, you forget yourself, sir. You are in the presence of the princess.
Mayhap bowed heads would less offend, but you would do well to waste less time on idle pleasantries.
I see even the noble Order of the Northern Sky cannot rid itself of vulgar knaves.
Yeah! Yeah, you tell him, Queen. You tell him.
A guard captain in these rain-sodden hinterlands ought not to expect chivalry. We are in the employ of the Order, not of it. Our pay does not cover trite courtesies to the likes of you.
Govern your tongue.
Enough. Let us be on our way.
The Father watch over you, child.
And you, Elder.
Milady, the enemy is upon us.
You got Tanner's men?
We are paid for this. Time to earn our keep.
The priest definitely sounds like a younger person trying to do an older person voice.
What is it, Ramza? You above getting paid to do a job?
I'm a knight no longer. Just another sellsword.
Ah, there's Ramza's voice. Interesting. Huh. Well, we're not... Okay, you know, I'm wondering if there's going to be different voices.
Right then. To battle.
Deliver us, O Lord.
That's another one of the reasons that I definitely wanted to go with the English for this, because I wanted to compare the new translation and also see the voices that they chose for everyone. I know one of the voices is Ben Starr, which is interesting. Getting a lot of Ben Starr on the channel recently.
They bear the crest of the Black Lion. Duke Goltanna must be mad.
You there, wench! It is useless to resist. You will surrender the princess. If not, well, I would hate to see anything happen to that pretty face of yours.
There's the line. There's the line. With the creep Knight of Goltana that's flirting with Agrius.
A head on a sword? These swords of Goltana, lack wits one and all.
In that case, we should be able to handle this without you, Gafgarian.
Mayhap you could, but there's no money to be made in that. Lad, Ramsar, with me.
Alright, let's go.
Kill them all! Leave no man standing!
That's a Gafgarian line.
You would have us slaughter them. Are you mad? Kill them here, and you'll have played into Duke Goltana's hands. We need only put them to rout.
I find dead men rout more easily.
Not the voice I expected for Gafgarion, for sure. Or Gafgarian, as they keep saying. In the first battle, you can only control Ramza. When Ramza's turn ends, he may move... when Ramza's turn comes, he may move once and perform an ability. If you select wait, he will no longer take action, his turn will end. On the left side of the screen is the combat timeline. Each unit will act according to their place in the timeline, indicated by a number 1, displayed for the unit whose turn it is to act. Hold LT and press up down to scroll through the timeline. Yep, useful, and it shows all of those things. Here's our menu, our stats. We start with a mithril sword, helm, chainmail, and battle boots. I'm of course a squire. We can see my stats here. 66 bravery, 73 faith. Those are important, and those are some of the stats that I ignored a lot of when I was a kid. So it looks like that's what we're working with there. What else do we have? I am interested, so something about this game is this game does have a job class system, and I can build my main character here any way I want. And I'm going to be interested to think, it's going to be interesting to think about which path I should build, because I kind of had a path that I always went when I was a kid that worked, basically. Like just, you know, probably the same path a lot of people take Ramza. But it would be interesting to do something a little different with Ramza. Movement in battle. To reposition the active unit, select move from the battle menu, followed by a tile within its movement range. So, yeah, we want to go over here. I am also playing this with controller. You can play it with mouse, but I'm way too used to playing this game on controller, so... okay, I was about to say, I'm used to pressing L and R to spin the camera, because I wanted to know how to do that. Click in left stick to zoom in and out. It doesn't make the noise! The little spinny noise, it's not here, the God, you're gonna be seeing me freaking out so much about all the changes. So, yeah, those are 3 archers. A knight, and then a chemist. The chemist here needs to die, because that is their healer. So, I do think I'm going to send Ramza over here. We're gonna look at our abilities. Abilities in battle. From the abilities menu, you may command the unit to attack with a currently equipped weapon or perform an ability it has learned. The attack command is the most basic form of offense. Its range varies according to the weapon. Abilities have many uses, such as attacking, healing, and providing support. Some consume MP or items. Alright, we're gonna go right to metal. Unfortunately, I do not have accumulate or yell. But we can look at our abilities here. Attacks by ramming an adjacent unit and has a chance of knocking it back. The damage dealt varies greatly. Change page, so you can see all the like added effects and everything. It's very interesting playing this again after playing Tactics Ogre, because I'm so used to Tactics Ogre at this point. Okay, so attack by ramming an adjacent enemy. This is mostly useful for trying to knock enemies off ledges, because there is fall damage in this game. Lob a stone at a distant unit has a chance of knocking it back. The damage dealt varies greatly. Throw stone is funny. Also good for knocking people off ledges if you can't get in contact with them enough to use rush, I suppose. I have a funny story about this where I was sitting down playing this when I was younger, and my dad walked in and was like, I learned how to throw stone, because that's a skill you can learn. My dad was like, why did you need to learn how to throw a rock? A battlefield treatment that removes poison, blindness, and silence from an adjacent unit. Sacrifice HP to restore the HP of an adjacent unit. So, what I am going to do is something that you'll probably see me do quite a bit. Hit one of my own characters for reasons, mostly for XP reasons. I don't even think possibly the XP from this carries over, but one important thing to note with Throwstone is line of sight matters in this. If I do this, it's going to say I will not hit my target. That's because I'm going to hit Agrius, which I would never do. So we're going to hit Lad instead. Yeah, eat that. So, practical application complete. So it doesn't even look like I got XP for that, but one of the things in Final Fantasy Tactics... Shadowblade? Yeah, you can use that. One of the things in Final Fantasy Tactics...
Fate is sealed.
Oh, that's interesting. They even have voice lines for when they die. Wild. And then we get to see a Judgment Blade. Yeah. One of the things interesting in Final Fantasy Tactics is that I specifically cheesed another game like this before, a game called Luminous Arc. But since you get XP on every single action, and also gives you job points, which we'll learn about soon, but since you get experience on every single action, usually what I do is like punch my own units and stuff when you can't do anything else in a turn, because you want to optimize your XP gain as much as you possibly can. So you can kind of like, I always role-played it to myself as my units are sparring with each other, basically. Because it does look a little bit absurd when I just beat my own allies up. But you know. Also the knight I threw a rock at might be going down. Just saying. Yeah. Focus on the chemist. Good stuff, lad.
Leave it to me.
What are you doing? Shadowblade? Yep, that's a KO.
By divine will unencumbered. By darkness empowered. Shadowblade.
Yeah, do your little shout. Yeah.
What?
That's great. That's great. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Very interesting to see all of this play out. I mean, it definitely looks like we're gonna win, but we have Agrius and Gafgarion, so of course we were gonna win. The AI also chose to go directly for the character that I wanted to focus on first, so that's quite nice. I can't even really get to an enemy. Ooh. Don't know why that was happening. Here. Let's be the best knight we can be and spend the entire fight throwing rocks. 78% chance.
That was close.
You parried my rock! Well, this knight's surrounded, so... Gafgarion, I think, got a lucky crit at the beginning that took that archer out immediately, so... I think we got a little bit lucky there. Are you throwing a rock? Oh wait, no, you are.
If I die, so be it.
So much left undone. It's interesting hearing them all have like little barks for when they're dying and when they're low health.
Let me think.
That is interesting, because that was obviously not in the other things. Oh, lad's gonna Phoenix down. Nice.
Time to work.
Nice. 29 damage. You'll almost die.
This looks grim.
Also, you do get increased XP for being the one that gets the killing blow on enemies as well. So that's something else to note, I suppose. But I think I mentioned earlier there was a game that I cheesed by doing the hit your own units to gain XP thing, like I talked about. Luminous Arc is the name of the game I did that in. Both of them, because I think I played 2. But yeah, basically just leave one enemy alive, the AI will go make them cower in a corner, and then you just kind of grind up XP by just having your units spar with each other effectively. We will stab you in the back. How much does Rush do, actually, just so that we could see it? 12. But the damage is variable. I'll do it. Yeah, eat Mithril Sword, nerd. Also, this is a game where facing matters, so you'll see me adjust my facing, you know, at the end of each turn and stuff. That's important because our hit rate is determined by which direction that we're facing, as well as our counter rate. So, if I want a higher chance to dodge things, I want to be facing people when they throw a rock at me, for example.
Curse you.
Alright. You're still gonna revive Alicia, lad. Still gonna do it, huh? Okay, my turn's coming up.
Keep going.
Or no, that was Lavian, not Alicia, sorry.
It's time.
Alright. Let's put you out of your misery, nerd. Should kill? Yep.
I have you now!
My time is up.
No?
No. Lady Ovelia.
I think that was like a stock scream in the original, instead of like clearly the VA doing the scream there.
This way. Hurry up. And try making a little less noise.
Ah, and we see Delita from the intro.
I'll not take orders from you!
You've quite a mouth on you, princess.
Hold there!
I think not. If you feel wronged, blame yourself or the father.
This cannot be.
Clearly that's one of those blue chocobos that can swim, even though it wasn't blue.
Delita. He lives.
Mm-hmm, he sure does, Ramza.
But why does he serve under the banner of Duke Goltana? I do not understand.
Ramza's voice is definitely deeper than I expected, like I mentioned earlier. In Pursuit of the Truth, complete.